Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the fifth set, I believe, of the series between Lecaf Oz and eSTRO in the Shinhan Bank Pro League Winners League. Yes, now we finally do not have Haya. I am so excited. I'm sorry if anyone is a Haya fan, but I am not particularly a fan of the sit in your base and wait for a timing attack, although that sounds kind of like a certain time attacker that we have called forGG, who is also sitting here. Maybe Haya learned how to, sit in his base and do a timing attack from forGG, but forGG is a good guy. Yeah. Alright, and Haya just doesn't impress me all that much with his play. I think in all his previous games, he didn't really do his timing attack right anyway. In the first game against Hester, he kind of ran outside of his base a little too early and had to run back into his natural to salvage it from a couple of recalls. The second time, he just lost his attacking force a couple of times, like once or twice, even though he already had the game in the bag. And in the third game against Zerg, well, he did pretty fine, well against that, because really, I don't think Haya knew what he was doing. So I'm actually being quite critical of these players, and I usually am not, but Haya has not been giving me the best games. But guess what? UpMagiC has. I love UpMagiC now. UpMagiC just gave me a really fast game last set, and I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And by the way, we have Lecaf forGG spawning in Teal Terran at the top, and we have UpMagiC spawning as Red Terran at the bottom of this map. This map will be Destination. So Destination is a two-player map. These players will be able to scout each other out. This won't be like the TVT on Tau Cross because ground pushes will probably be so much more difficult. There are two bridges and ramps to defend your base from, so it's gonna be hard to just, A-move or siege over a little wall. So it'll be slightly more difficult. We may see this go into mid-late game with drop ships. That might be necessary, although I'm hoping that UpMagiC can work some magic and just give us a show, give us some vulture play, some stellar vulture play that we saw last game. By the way, we are actually, I think it's 3-1 Lecaf to eSTRO, so eSTRO needs to win this. Lecaf can just lose this game, lose another game, and still be fine. They just can't lose that last game. So forGG doesn't have to win this, and they still have Jaedong in bag. So really, everything is up to UpMagiC right now. UpMagiC is the last player. If he loses this, the game is over. The series is just over. So good luck to UpMagiC, and I hope you show us a nice game. Both players are going for that mirror build right now. This is Destination. They're probably not going to go for anything too risky. I haven't really seen anything that risky. Like, I've never seen anyone go for barracks, marines and medics, or anything like that, marine rush, bunker rush, against another Terran player, although I actually saw Tossgirl and UpMagiC playing on this very same map at TVT, and Tossgirl went for that bunker rush. UpMagiC did manage to fend it off though, so I'm kind of sad. Because Tossgirl did make a nice showing. Her Marine Micro just wasn't bad, but UpMagic's Marine Micro was just better. But anyway, I haven't really seen any of those games, not many of those games, but possibly because they just don't work. That might be one reason, and it's just so risky, and UpMagiC does not want to risk that. And now there are factories going up for both players. Both players are sending out respective scouts. Now, UpMagic's scout will probably get in there earlier than forGG's, but it will be just sniped off by this Marine. Poor SCV, actually. Can you imagine being an SCV? You're carrying a lot of armor, maybe some mining tools, you have a pair of rocket thrusters, and you're being chased down by a Marine armed with a gun. That's just not very fair and not a very pleasant lifestyle, I think. And that SCV goes down and you explode. You explode. You don't even just die properly. You explode when you die. Alright, so poor SCVs being killed. They have both scouted. I don't know if forGG sees the second factory. He does see the second factory, so he will be able to prepare a little bit for the second factory. forGG is moving out with those two Marines. I wonder why he's moving out with just two Marines. Maybe he sees that there's only one Marine from UpMagiC. UpMagiC has lifted his barracks, I believe, and is sending it towards forGG's base. So I don't know, this might be just a little bit dangerous. forGG is going for a command center now. No, forGG, bad forGG. Go for the 2-fact and duke it out in micro form. But no, forGG is probably going for the better idea. As long as he can defend from this 2-fact, he'll be pretty fine. And there's only one Marine though. The Marine will probably go down to these 2 other Marines. Magic needs to run and just wait for those units to come out of his factory. Hopefully they'll come out in time. But there are two Marines and a Vulture coming. Oh no, this is so terrible. There's nothing protecting those SCVs. And forGG will be able to take down some of these SCVs. And this is why I like forGG more than Hiya, because he actually does something in early game. And look, there are so many SCVs going down. Actually, one SCV, 2 SCVs. Is there going to be a 3rd SCV? I don't think a 3rd SCV goes down. And that Vulture and those 2 Marines have done its job. But now there is a tank and the Vulture coming out, and this might be dangerous now for forGG. As soon as enough units come out for UpMagiC, he probably will do a push. Maybe he's doing a push now, 2 Vultures and a tank, pushing forward to that fast expand, or 1-fact into command center build. And I don't know how this will work. forGG is going for a starport though. This is kind of interesting. Maybe he's going for Wraith, maybe he's going for dropships. This will be fun. This will be a fun game rather than the Hiya games. So UpMagiC is laying mines now. He has enough mines, and there's nothing to protect his SCVs, and there are 3 Vultures against 1 Vulture and I think 1 tank. But I don't know, forGG just ran away. I think that tank could have taken on the Vultures, but I think he was afraid of mines. He doesn't have any detection right now, and that command center is prevented. So that 2-fact into command center as opposed to that 1-fact into command center actually might not put UpMagiC that behind. And I don't know if, oh ouch, UpMagiC kind of failed at that ramp, approaching that ramp. He wasn't able to get past or snipe any SCVs or take down that, oh, does the mine go off? No, it doesn't. The mine was just shot down barely. But yeah, UpMagiC will be forced to retreat. But anyway, UpMagiC isn't that behind now because that command center still hasn't been able to land. Now forGG is building a Wraith, probably to just do some harassment, maybe get rid of that barracks floating over your units. That's gotta be annoying, seeing that barracks every time, going back to your ramp and not being able to select your units as properly. So yeah, actually this is quite effective by UpMagiC. That mine is placed so that the command center can't land, and what's more is that really forGG doesn't have the detection to deal with it, so he's really delayed in his command center. I think, is UpMagic's base actually up yet? UpMagic's 2nd natural expansion might actually be up before forGG's, even if forGG went 1-fact into command center, so this might be dangerous. Now UpMagiC does have a lot of Vultures, not many tanks though. He's probably saving his gas for something else, maybe tanks later, but he has a lot of Vultures, he has a minefield. He'll be able to prevent any major pushes until forGG gets more comsat energy, until he gets more just units in general to shoot down those mines. Yeah, so UpMagiC actually has probably the better positioning right now because he has a minefield in front of forGG's base. And Terran v Terran is a lot about positioning, a lot about being able to contain your enemy here, but also expand at the same time, and so on. There aren't as many huge military clashes because that wouldn't exactly be the best idea, but now there is a military clash, and the Vultures don't seem to be doing that much damage.